I have been in the wellness world for 6 years. I have my master's degree in human nutrition and functional medicine, and I have genuinely tried everything from sugar-free to dairy-free to gluten-free to ultra-processed food-free, low-carb, no-carb, keto, paleo, autoimmune paleo, vegan, carnivore, and just about everything in between. And I'm going to be really honest with you today. I am more confused than I have ever been. Before I get into any of this, I really want to be clear about something, and that is that the wellness renaissance that we are living through, it is genuinely remarkable. For the first time, mainstream culture is talking about real food, avoiding ultra-processed ingredients, understanding that what you eat impacts how you feel, and not just your weight, your hormones, your metabolism, your mood, your brain, your longevity, your skin. Everybody seems to be asking, what are you eating? What protocols are you doing? What supplements are you taking? Honestly, that's cool. I love that for us. Health has never been more in the limelight. And at the same time, it has gotten totally overwhelming. I believe it has a very specific explanation, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. But first, I think it's important that I tell you something about myself that I don't really talk about much. I didn't get into nutrition or the wellness world because I loved food. In fact, I got into it because I was afraid of food. When I was 12 years old, I was hospitalized for anorexia, and at 13, I was hospitalized again. My heart rate was in the low 40s. I was holding on for dear life, and I didn't even understand why. I was so confused about what to eat because I felt like everywhere I turned, whether it was in the grocery store, at the checkout aisle, all of the magazines advocating for low-fat diets or low-carb diets or counting calories. I grew up on skim milk. I had this idea or this belief that was planted inside of me at a very young age that food was something to fear because if you ate the wrong foods, it would make you fat. So I was hospitalized twice, and for years after that, from age 14 to about 22, I was technically recovered from my eating disorder. I was able to eat and maintain a healthy weight, but subconsciously I was still counting calories, I was still restricting, I was still fighting my body at every single turn. I had chronic eczema, I had constant stomach aches, I was puffy, bloated, miserable, anxious. I hated how I felt in my skin, and I had no idea at the time that what I was eating was actually connected to the way that I was feeling. And honestly, it wasn't my fault because I was never exposed to this information that the food that I eat actually affects how I feel on a biological level. I wanted to eat healthy, but I didn't have the education to fully take care of myself. I was just doing what I thought was right based off of what the news told me, what the media told me, what my friends were doing. I didn't actually have the knowledge that I needed to make informed health choices until I turned 23. That is the year I took a senior capstone class for my undergraduate degree where I learned all about the standard American diet and its link to chronic disease. Standard American diet, I didn't even know what that was. That class changed everything. Finally, I was introduced to this connection that food wasn't just calories. The food that you eat actually impacted your risk for chronic disease like obesity and type 2 diabetes and heart disease and cancer. These diseases existed within my family, and I just thought that it was like we were dealt a bad hand, that it was our genetics. But I had no idea until I took this class that the standard American diet, or the SAD diet, was actually responsible for what was making us sick. A light bulb went off. How has nobody ever told me this? This is crazy. Finally, food wasn't just calories. Food was information. Food was medicine. It was the answer I had been looking for my entire life, and I didn't even know it. And that obsession sent me down a long and windy road that eventually led me here, and that is exactly what I want to talk to you about, because I feel like we've gone backwards a little bit, and I'm back to my 12-year-old confused self. So picture this. It's 2020. I'm just about to graduate and get my master's in nutrition and functional medicine, and I got this insane opportunity. I landed my dream job writing content for one of the most well-known names in functional medicine. I had an amazing mentor. Everything was so new and exciting. Every week there was a new study that came out that I was writing about, or a new protocol, a new supplement. I was doing cold plunging. My husband and I made a cold plunge with a chest freezer that we used inside of our garage. What else did we do? We would have dinner parties and make like ancestral organ meat blend burgers for dinner and like not tell anybody. We were down deep. We were deep in that rabbit hole. And honestly, it kind of makes me laugh thinking how ridiculous we were, and like, God bless our family for loving us through it, because we were extreme. And here's the thing, like, I don't regret any of it. There's a ton of value in just getting curious about your body, your unique physiology, and how it works and how it responds to certain foods and your environment. But somewhere it stopped feeling like curiosity and it started feeling like an obsession again, like an unhealthy obsession this time. And I went from feeling lost and confused about food from when I was 12 years old to again feeling lost and confused about food. Every time I turned around, there was a new supplement to try, a new powder, a new protocol. When I was wearing my continuous glucose monitor, I got a huge spike after eating a sweet potato and wound up cutting those out of my diet. I cut oatmeal out of my diet because that spiked my blood sugar, and I thought that every time my blood sugar spiked, that was a bad thing, when really that's just your body having the appropriate response to eating something that's rich in carbs. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You know, I am a functional nutritionist with a master's degree, and I'm just sitting there lost and confused again. Here's what I think is going on. We're human beings, right? We are simple creatures, and at the same time, we are profoundly complex, and we are undeniably influenced by our environment, by what we eat, the air that we breathe, the water we consume, the people we surround ourselves with, the toxins that we're exposed to. We know that our environment shapes our health. And because of that, my friend, there is an enormous opportunity to sell us things. Capitalism, baby, this is America. We sell things, we make money, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think every company out there, especially every wellness company, is malicious. I think most of them actually have really good intentions. But the truth is, simple doesn't sell. Basic is not sexy. Big business is smart. They know what sells. Instead of preaching the basics, the fundamentals of health, we get optimization. We get a marketplace for every supplement you can imagine. We see protocols now for every goal, products that promise to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And listen, I think some of these products are genuinely incredible, and that maybe they can be life-changing for some people. I even use some of these products myself, and I'll share with you shortly which ones that I use. But here's the question that I want you to sit with. Who actually needs all of this? I really want to be careful here, because I'm not talking to the people who are managing serious chronic conditions. Who I am talking to now, hello, hi, welcome. I'm talking to the people out there who are generally healthy and who are trying to do the right thing but have absolutely no idea where to start. And for those people, which I think is a lot of us who are watching this video, the foundation is actually really, really simple. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what that foundation is. One, and this is probably the most important, which is to learn how to feed your body and then actually do that. Not obsessively, but consistently. Eat real, whole, nutrient-dense food. And when I say real, I mean food that comes from the earth, that you can recognize with your naked eye, that doesn't come with a package or a barcode or a label or an ingredient list. And you want to eat that the majority of the time. I really love to follow the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time you are making choices that nourish you, that are supporting your body, that feel good, and then 20% of the time, live your life. Eat some sugar, go have some ice cream, enjoy that glass of wine. Once you truly understand what food does inside of your body, how your blood sugar works, how protein supports your hormones, how fiber feeds your gut bacteria, you stop needing someone to tell you what to eat and you just sort of know. You stop outsourcing your intuition and you start going inward and listening to your body. And if you're doing that consistently and you're still experiencing symptoms like low energy, hormonal issues, digestive issues, gut problems, then you dig a little bit deeper. Experiment with removing certain foods from your diet and seeing how it makes you feel, going gluten-free or dairy-free, things like that. That's when the experimentation comes in. But for most people, a general baseline of real foods works. Rule number 2, move your body. Move your body, baby. Daily movement is a non-negotiable. It is foundational. Your body needs it. We are humans. We are bipedals, whatever they call it. We have 2 legs, and those legs were designed to get us from point A to point B. So even if you're just walking, that is a heck of a lot better than being sedentary and sitting still all day. Move your body. Maybe lift some weights, maybe get that heart rate up, break a little sweat. You know, it ain't gonna hurt you. It's gonna be good for you. Rule number 3, drink clean water, not from plastic bottles, baking in the car, although sometimes, you know, if that's a last resort, then fine. But if you can, drink filtered water.
If you need help finding a water filter, the Environmental Working Group website has a fantastic water filter guide resource for quick countertop filters that are actually tested, effective, and won't break the bank. But if you want to get one that filters out the contaminants in your area, simply enter your zip code and you can download the full report of water contaminants and then get personalized filter recommendations based on the contaminants in your local water source. The link is in the description, and no stress to be perfect.
Obviously, all of these, you want to do what you can. Number 4 is to love yourself. Listen, I know that sounds soft. Please stay with me, because loving yourself enough means prioritizing your sleep, prioritizing your mental health, your boundaries, your relationships, your peace. It's so, so important, because your nervous system, the health of your nervous system quite literally affects the health of all of your other systems. And really, there is no supplement that can fix that. You just have to do the work. So when those 4 things are in place consistently, that is 85% of your health. And when they're out of place or when they're imbalanced, that is when dysfunction starts to happen and these imbalances start to rear their head. And hey, that happens. That's a part of life. Sometimes we are thrown out of balance, whether that's in our control or not. And if that is the case, that is when testing and supplements and protocol and personalized interventions becomes genuinely useful. In the spirit of full transparency, I wanted to share what I actually take, supplements that I think actually move the needle, that I can feel a difference in my body. The first is collagen. I take collagen for my skin, for my joint health. I've been running a lot lately, training for a half marathon, and I've honestly noticed when I add 2 scoops of collagen to my smoothies in the morning, my recovery is so much better. Magnesium, super important. Magnesium is involved in over 600 enzymatic reactions in your body, so if you don't have enough magnesium, then 600 reactions can't function optimally. Magnesium glycinate is the form that I take, a multivitamin with methylated B vitamins, so this is covering all of your nutrient bases that you might be missing from your diet. I'd also highly recommend taking an omega-3 supplement. If you're not eating fatty fish at least twice a week, a high quality omega-3 supplement can be extremely beneficial. You need omega-3s for your brain to function properly, for your cells to communicate with one another. So omega-3s, incredibly important, and most of us aren't getting enough. Protein powder, I do add protein powder to my smoothies every morning, but you just want to make sure it's a clean protein powder without any added sugars or gums or emulsifiers, with a high quality source of protein. I use bone broth protein isolate. Whey protein is a great option, or beef protein isolate is a great option. And finally, alpha lipoic acid. This is an antioxidant that helps to lower inflammation in the body, and I just have to say that this is one of those supplements that I take and I actually notice a difference. I can feel it reducing the inflammation in my body. I take it before I go to bed, and I believe that it's working in my system while I'm sleeping to help fight free radicals and oxidative stress. I can tell that it works because my wedding rings, when I am inflamed, they are stuck and tight and hard to move, but when I am taking alpha lipoic acid consistently, they don't get stuck on my fingers, they're loose, and that is a sign to me that I am less inflamed. Those are the supplements that move the needle for me. I think for generally most people, they can be really helpful, but your specific supplement protocol is going to be designed for you. Obviously, vitamin D3 and K2 if you're not getting out in the sunshine regularly. But again, your list of supplements might be different from mine, and that is the whole point here, is health should be personalized. So how do you navigate a wellness world that profits from your confusion? Here's how I like to think about it. When you see a new supplement, protocol, or wellness trend, you want to simply ask yourself 3 questions. Is my foundation solid? Am I eating real food most of the time? Am I moving my body? Am I sleeping? Am I drinking clean water? Am I managing my stress? If the answer is no, start there. No supplement is going to outperform a broken foundation. Another question you want to ask is there real evidence behind this, or is it just really good marketing? Because there's a difference between a product with strong peer-reviewed research and a product with a really compelling podcast ad. You have to learn to tell those two apart. Another question, does this feel right to my body, or am I just taking it because I feel like I'm missing out? So am I actually benefiting from what they're trying to sell? Or is it all marketing? Is it all hype? Is it that FOMO thing of like, oh, I gotta try this new supplement because all of my friends are trying it? Sorry. And finally, you were given one body, one beautiful, beautiful body. And it is a miracle that you're even here, that your heart beats without you having to ask it to, that your immune system fights battles that you'll never even know about. That body, that beautiful body, deserves to be fed, to be nourished, to be moved, to be rested, to be loved, not optimized into oblivion, not sold a solution to a problem it doesn't have, just taken care of consistently with real food, clean water, movement, and the self-love and self-respect to make it a priority. That's the wellness industry that I personally want to be a part of, and that is exactly why I left it and why I am here. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, if you got something out of it, please hit subscribe. I would love for you to join this community. We need each other to navigate this crazy wellness world together. And I am Taylor, this is Food Happy, and I will see you in the next video.